So why don't you tell me a little bit about the Vietnam? So let's go back to you were in high school, right?
Yeah.
So when did you first understand what the Vietnam War even was? About ninth grade?
Yeah,
Because that would have been, you
grade.
graduated in 1968, right?
Yeah, so at about 64 or 65.
That's when the war started ramping up, about 66, 67, I
Yeah,
believe.
in that time frame.
So what was what everybody think in high school about it? Were they scared? They were drafting back
yeah,
then?
they were afraid about being drafted. Some got drafted, some didn't. And then they went to a lottery system, but I was already in.
What year was that?
The lottery system was in 69, I believe.
69.
My number was 22.
So you graduated high school in 1968?
Yeah.
From Bell Vernon?
Yeah.
And, okay. What... So when did you go get, were you still in high school when you joined the Air Force? Or
yes.
Were you after you graduated
no,
high school?
Before.
Because you weren't 18 until
no.
June of that year, right?
That's right.
It was 68, right?
That's correct.
Well, no, you were born, no, you would have been, let's say you were born 1949. So yeah, you were 18, you turned 18 that year, so.
18 that year.
So, okay. So in 1968, you joined the Air Force prior, before you even got drafted. Before
right.
So were you 18 or 17 when you joined, technically?
I joined, I think it was, must have been, I joined in 68.
In 1968?
Yeah.
Okay.
I started the paperwork in March of 68.
So before you turned 18. Or you were already 18, you were about to turn 19.
19.
So when did you graduate high school then? June?
68.
June of 1968?
No, May. I think it was May 23rd, 1968.
May 23rd, 1968. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what made you choose the Air Force over the other branches? Because Pap
Less
was in the
people
Army.
being killed.
So you knew a lot of did you know people from West Newton that had died?
I knew some
in the
Army,
war.
I knew some Army people that had got killed and got injured pretty bad over there.
So you said, I'll join the Air Force, this way I have a better bet.
My chances are safer.
Okay. So when you joined, did you also get your number pulled for the Army to get drafted as well? Or
No.
Or your name was never included?
My name was never included because I already joined.
Okay. And then Uncle Tim never got drafted because you joined? Is that the rationale?
No, Uncle Tim had a draft number of in his year, of 324.
So he never got drafted?
No. Okay. And Grandma was having a fit that I was in. She said, I can't have two of my sons over in Vietnam. They're about to get killed. I won't have any kids.
Grandma would do that.
Oh, yeah. Grandma could carry on.
So you joined, and then so when did you ship out?
July 12th, 1968.
Okay, so you had about a month off after high school.
Right, a month.
What'd you do during that time? Did you just work the drive-through with Pap up there, or
nope,
the hall? You just hung out, played with friends?
No, I didn't do anything.
Okay.
During that month, it was off. I just had off. In the morning, I left. Grandma was going to cook me a big breakfast, but we all slept in.
Oh, okay.
And because we slept in, Pap had to get in the car and drive me as fast as he could down to Pleasant Hills. And at Pleasant Hills, I caught the bus to downtown Pittsburgh and got to the Federal Building on time. You know, they always want you there early on all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I was able to get there on time.
So when you got dropped off Pittsburgh, how many days did you stay there in Pittsburgh?
I got dropped off about...
do you remember if it was like a Monday or a Sunday? Or
yeah, it was a Friday.
A Friday. And then you stayed there until what, Monday then shipped out?
No, I stayed there till 5 o'clock at night, Friday night.
Oh, Friday that night, okay.
Yeah,
and where did they ship you then? You got an airplane at that point?
We got a plane. We went from Pittsburgh to Chicago to Dallas to San Antonio.
So was it all service members on
all?
A lot of guys?
Yeah, not all, but most.
That's where you could smoke on airplanes.
Yeah, yeah. No,
everybody's smoking cigarettes on there.
Yeah.
Huh?
So you could.
Now, was it for all branches, or was it just the Air Forces?
All branches.
Okay.
But Air Force had the most people going.
So when did you actually land at base training, and where was that?
I landed at San Antonio International Airport.
So Lackland Air Force Base.
Then we got on an Air Force bus 45-minute drive over to Lackland.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, and then how long was your basic training when you were in
6
there?
weeks.
So it was only 6 weeks, so same as it was up until about 2002 or 3.
Yeah,
And then now it's 8 weeks.
we ate there. They took us to what is called Hell's Kitchen, and you could eat anything you wanted, but you better eat it all.
You better eat it all, is that what they told you?
Yeah, they get mad at you.
So what are some of the stories from basic? I mean, the TIs are crazy.
Oh, we had a guy.
You said Blackwell and Inkwell.
Yeah,
he
we had a
couldn't
guy
figure
named
out tie shoes. or
Blackwell.
something.
And at the time, there was a cartoon on called Inkwell. So he was always screwing up. Big black guy from McKeesport. Nice guy, very nice.
So he's from Pittsburgh, he was.
Yeah, well, from McKeesport, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And he'd always screw up. They'd say left face, he'd go right face. They'd say right face, he'd go left face. We'd go, start marching left, right. Blackwell would screw the whole shooting match up. He'd get off on his bad wrong foot. And one time we'd come back, they said, you didn't make your beds up. Your mattresses may be on the ground. Well, mine wasn't, but boy, oh boy. I think Blackwell must have been, because it wasn't long after that they recycled him. Poor Blackwell. Felt bad to the boy. Yeah, he's having a hard time.
So you were in there with everybody who was,
I was
going,
there.
right? There was some flyboys in there and stuff too, I bet, in basic.
No, everybody was coming in
The
brand new.
officers. Yeah, the officers.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, there were officers there, but they weren't with us. Then we
So-
did regular basic training. You know,
Yeah.
you marched every day. You got more shots. And I remember we got shots, and they shot us with a gun, needle type gun. Oh, that hurt. Well, I remember getting that. Then I remember we went through obstacle course twice. I never had a problem. I was so skinny then anyway. So went through that. Remember going through that. Then I remember on our 25th day going to take the big test. If you didn't pass this test, then you had to get recycled.
No.
Yeah.
This is a book test, not a PT test.
PT, no. You took the PT test in the morning, like at 6 or 8, 6, 7, 8. Then you went over and took the paper test.
Now, how many of the guys in there with you were drafted versus volunteered?
None of them were drafted. They were all volunteers.
So these were all said, "Hey, I'm not going to the army getting shot at in
Right,
the
these
jungle.
were
I'd
all-
rather."
Right, these were all guys that were volunteers. Yeah, we had guys here from Charleroi. I remember that. Then I remember we had to go take our test, and I felt good about it because I studied hard, and I didn't come out with an E, which is excellent. I come out with pass because I had screwed up one section. Sometimes like there was like 3 questions. And I might have missed 2. That didn't penalize me.
Well, that's
If there had
good.
been 4 questions and I'd missed 2, they'd have penalized me. I don't know how that went, but anyway, we got that afternoon. We got the results back. Some people had to go back and retest on certain things. I didn't have to retest on anything. Then I remember that next day we went down and got our orders where we were going.
So where were you headed?
Eglin, Hurlburt Field,
In
Eglin
Florida.
Air Force Base, but it's Eglin.
That's Pensacola, Florida.
Yeah, it's in Fort Walton Beach.
Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Okay.
Yeah.
And,
So
and then so you were there. How long were you? When
I
did
was
you?
there about 2.5 years before I went to Vietnam.
So did you go to tech school there
No.
after basic, or where'd
No.
you head to tech school after basic?
I didn't. I went direct duty.
Direct duty. Okay.
Yeah, direct duty.
And what was your first assignment post?
Hurlburt Field.
Well, what were you doing?
I worked in an office. I worked at the wing headquarters, doing
What kind of base was it? Was it a fighter wing? Was
special
it
operations.
special operations?
We were known as the First Air Commando Wing, which you see. It's called Special Ops today.
What did they do with intel or?
No, they did intel. Yep, basically, they trained people, but they did a lot of intel and jungle training.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Yeah.
So was it all Vietnam? Because this is only a few years after the
All
Cuban
we-
Missile Crisis.
Yeah.
So was there still like a
No.
alert for the Russians in the Cuban area, or
Well,
no?
if
Really?
there was, I didn't know about
So
it.
they weren't really on high alert then.
No.
Okay.
No, we were training Vietnam. We had OV-10A Broncos, C-123s. We had C-130s aircraft, OV-1, OV-2. We had Huey, UH-1 helicopter. So we had basic jungle. Everything was trained. Everything at Herbert Field trained for Vietnam. If you were there, you were going to Vietnam. Just a matter of time.
And the president of the United States was Lyndon Johnson, or was it
No,
Richard Nixon,
Nixon.
at this point? Richard Nixon, his first term. Okay.
Yeah.
Only term. Okay, so Richard Nixon is the president of the United States. So
Johnson was president when I went in. Then the election came in November, and he got. Well, he didn't even run.
So this is the time when the Vietnam War was ramping up, 1969, 1970, when you were in the Herbert Field, right?
A lot of protesters.
A lot of. How was that? Did you when you because you obviously got leave and you had to go out on the town and have some beers with buddies and whatnot. Did they give you a lot of crap there for being? You get a lot of
Not
people,
me.
or
Not me personally, but a lot of guys got flack.
a lot of guys did for being in the military. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you weren't. You were kind of in a.
and I used.
You weren't in a very liberal place in that part of Florida, anyway.
No. And when I went, people were very friendly, even in Atlanta, because I'd go through. Usually, I'd go down there from Fort Walton Beach to Atlanta to Pittsburgh. That's how
Oh,
we
you did.
usually flowed.
So where'd you go with your buddies to party? You went down like go to a bar or something down there, have a couple beers?
No,
or-
we didn't. I didn't party, Jason.
You must have went out with the guys sometimes.
Well, we went out, but not to drink. We'd like go out and get pizza and soda, like on a Friday night.
You go like bowling or something, or
Yeah, we go bowling once in a while, but not too much.
okay.
We didn't go too much.
What'd you do in your free time?
A lot of church stuff, with a lot of Bible studies, and then we played a lot of softball. We played a lot of softball, man.
Oh, you
remember
did.
that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, our squadron.
Do you get to watch a lot of football and baseball games
Yeah.
on television?
You can be that. That's Bear Bryant was still living. He was coach of Alabama. He was like God down there.
No, is it really?
Well,
They love their football.
Hey boy,
down there.
you talk about Bear Bryant, or you don't talk about George Wallace. You get that? That was it.
That's what they said to you down there.
Yeah, they tell you don't talk about George Wallace or Bear Bryant. They were like gods. You know, Bear Bryant was like Paterno was up at Penn State.
So you joined this is 1968.
Yeah.
So when you were shipped out to Vietnam, you were almost at the end of your tour because you only signed up for 4 years, correct?
Right.
So this was like 1972 before you were getting ready to leave.
71.
1971. So when did you find out you were going to Vietnam?
March of 71
And when did you actually leave for Vietnam?
till June of 71.
Okay, so you had about 3 months to that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you found out, I'm sure you weren't very happy, obviously, but
No.
did they tell you where you were going at first? Or
Yeah.
no.
No,
They did right
told me.
away. They told you
Yeah,
right
they
away.
said you're going to Fan Rang. I said, well, Warren,
Well,
what's
no.
the name's that? I didn't even know where it was.
Did you look it up on a map?
Yeah, then they showed me on the map.
Then they showed you on a map. Okay.
Yeah, they showed me
okay.
on the map.
So did you call mom?
I called Mom.
And
She
your
broke-
dad, or who'd you talk to first? We answered the phone.
I talked to Mom. She broke down.
You
She
told her you were
broke
going to
down and
Vietnam.
lost. Yeah, I told her. I was going
Because
to
before this, you were in, but you were still stateside.
Yeah, you worry about it.
And you would what? Did you come home for the holidays usually?
Yeah, I'd come home twice a year usually.
Come home twice a year to see mom and dad?
Christmas at one time and one time in the summer. But Mom broke down, cried. She just was unsolvable. And I talked to Dad, then Sandy, then they got her
Well,
calmed
what
down.
did Pap say to you?
He said you just have to watch yourself. You just have to watch yourself. Be careful.
Because he was over there in
Well,
World War
yeah,
II.
yeah,
and
not
stuff.
Vietnam, but he was So he said
Okay.
he said you just have to be careful and watch yourself. And so I do. Hey, sweetie.
Hey, you wanna
What are you doing?
talk to Dad?
Why am I going to talk to Dad about what?
He's
He's
telling me some
talking to me
Vietnam
about
stuff. I'm
Vietnam.
recording it, so
Oh.
could you go inside with the baby?
Well, go ahead
Pretty
and record it.
please. Okay. So Pap, his advice was just watch yourself. Be
He
careful.
said,
What
"Be
else he
careful,
say?
Mike. We'll pray for you, and just be careful. Use your head."
All right. Now, were you able to come home and see see mom and dad before you tripped out? Before you left?
Yeah, I came home.
When'd you head home?
The month of May. The whole month of May I came home.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
I had 30 days off.
How did Grandma? Would she make something nice for you?
Oh yeah, she always tries to make something nice for me. But she was still crying and upset, so not a whole lot I could do.
Okay.
Little doggy.
So when it's time for you to actually leave for Vietnam now, you leave from where?
Home. I left.
You left Pittsburgh.
I left.
Pittsburgh.
It was a Friday. I left Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I flew to Chicago.
Chicago.
Then I flew to Seattle.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
Then
where'd you head from Seattle?
Well, we went from Seattle. We went up to Anchorage, Alaska.
Oh wow. Okay. Now were you there for a little while too, or
Yeah.
no?
No, just part of the day.
Just part of a day. Okay.
Yeah, we were in Anchorage, Alaska. We stopped at McChord Air Force Base.
Now,
We
did
went
you
up
guys
to
load up
Anchorage.
on a bunch of stuff to take with you, or
No, not a whole lot.
no? Okay.
Don't hurt Sadie with that.
So okay,
Yeah.
so you fly from Anchorage to where?
Into Yokota Air Force Base
In Japan.
in Japan.
In Japan. Okay, Yokota. And then from Yokota,
We flew
you take
into,
off to.
from Yokota Air Force Base. We flew into Cam Ranh Bay, Vietnam, and I never forget how humid and hot it was. We landed June 5th. Hey. We landed June 5th of 1971.
June 5th to 1971.